Hi guys, it's Rach. Today I have a talk through makeup tutorial inspired by summer and the warmer weather, particularly wearing bold lips in summer. I'm a big fan of the bold lip, you guys know this about me, and I tend to wear more dark lips, more burgundy lips, plums, berry shades, things like that. But in the summer months, there are some colours that are more conducive to summer, and I think the lip colour that I'm wearing absolutely screams summer. It is a Rouge Edition Velvet by Bourjois, and I love the fact that it's this great hybrid of coral and red and pink, and it's bright and fun and still bold and all the things that I really enjoy. I know not everybody is used to rocking a bold lip for summer, so I'm going to show you how I like to wear bold lips and bold colours during the warmer months, and hopefully you guys will enjoy seeing that, maybe be inspired. I also am trying out a few other products that I haven't used in videos before, so you guys will get to see and hear them. You guys will get to see them in action and hear my thoughts about them. I'm going to start my base with some skincare. I'm applying the Kosmea Hydrating Rosewater Mist. I'm then going in with my moisturiser. This is the Trilogy Vital Moisturising Cream, which has been my favourite base for quite a while now. I've since picked up the SPF 15 version, which is a little bit stickier than I would like, which is why I've started off with damp skin. I'm hoping that it's just because the sunblock is in it and not that they've reformulated, because I really do like the original formula that comes in the pot, but I do much prefer this kind of packaging. If you know that you're going to be spending some time outside, then I would recommend going in with an extra sunscreen now and not just relying on the SPF in your makeup products. I'm going to pop a little bit of concealer under my eyes. Today I am using the Clarins Instant Light Concealer in shade number 1. This concealer does seem to crease quite quickly if I don't go in and set it straight away, so I'm going in with my e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. This powder does seem to have some noticeable glitter in it, which is something that I don't know why. Don't do that, don't put glitter under your eyes, but I find that if I use a fluffy brush and kind of flick it away, I'm just left with the powder and the glitter seems to disappear on me. I'm going to be using 2 foundations today. Sorry if that's a little bit annoying, but I do like this combo. I've got the Kogendo Moisture Foundation, and this is in the shade 113, and then I'm using my Laura Mercier Smooth Finish Flawless Fluid in the shade Linen. For summer makeup, I tend to try and use as little product as possible, at least for me, considering I tend to be a bit heavy-handed when it comes to makeup. And that's just because I like my skin to feel like it's free and like it can breathe. And for that, I tend to find that I am best by using my fingers. They really are sort of the best tools to really work the foundation into your skin. But you do you. Use whatever you would prefer, whatever foundation you like. And if you prefer a brush, I totally understand. Sometimes I go through phases where I prefer a brush too, then use that. Because the shade match for me isn't perfect, I'm just sort of taking whatever I have left over on the back of my hand and slowly working it down my neck, trying to make it as seamless as possible. The foundation has given me pretty decent coverage while still feeling quite light on my skin, but for those few pesky blemishes and a few places where I've got a little bit of uneven skin texture and just a random piece of hair on my face, I'm actually going to take a little bit of my Dior Skin Nude Concealer. This is in shade number 2. I'm just blending the edges of that concealer with this Real Techniques Stone brush. I've been trying this technique that I've seen a few people highlight in videos lately. One was Hiding Makeup Artist, and she actually used her Beauty Blender dry and used it to press her foundation into the skin after it had been applied to help take away some of the moisture that's left over behind from the foundation to help set it, but then leave the pigment behind, if that makes sense. And it seems to actually work. Like, you literally just press your Beauty Blender into your skin over the top of the foundation. This is not to apply foundation, because when I apply, I will use it wet, because that stops the product from being soaked in too much into the Beauty Blender and instead allows it to be applied onto your face. But just to help set the foundation and push it in to take away any excess moisture, because I did use a foundation called Moisture Foundation, as well as some other products that, I mean, the Laura Mercier one does set to a matte finish, but I just find that this helps a little bit in really keeping my makeup in place without requiring me to apply too much powder. Give it a go, see if it works for you. I will still set the center of my face with a little bit of powder, but I'm going to leave the outsides bare because I will be putting other products on the top of that, and therefore I feel like that will help set that makeup in place. I'm going to be using my Essence All About Matte Powder just on a fluffy brush in the T-zone. Before I go in with bronzer, I wanted to add a little bit of a glow, a little bit of a highlight to the skin. So I'm going to be using the Benefit What's Up highlighter. This is relatively new to my collection, but I'm really enjoying it. Pop a little bit there as well. It really does give you such a pretty glow to the skin. Okay, bronzer, we want to look sun-kissed without baking ourselves in the sun. So I'm going to go in with a matte bronzer, and I'm going to apply this all over the face where the sun would naturally hit. So mainly the circumference of the face. I'm also going to apply it on the bridge of the nose as well, just to really give me that natural looking bronzed tan. Of course, don't forget to bring it down your neck just so it blends all in together. If the bronzer hasn't given you enough sculpting to your face, if you still feel like you need to chisel in those cheekbones, girl, totally understand you. I don't have much cheekbones of my own, so I'm going to put in a small amount of my Kevyn Aucoin bronzing powder or sculpting powder, sorry, in medium. Just using my Ray Morris No. 3 Ultimate Cheekbone Brush. I'm just concentrating it really right on that outer part, like almost really just working it where my baby's hairs are on the side there. Not bringing it in too far at all. Okay, I'm going to come back to cheeks once we've applied our lip color, but I want to do my brows first. I'm just going to skip through this because you guys have seen it 1,000 times before. I'm going to be using my Anastasia Brow Wiz. For extra dimension, I am using a darker shade of brow pencil just on the outer part of the brow and the lower part of the brow. And then I'm going to go in with my lighter shade and use that at the front. For extra texturization, yes, I am now making up words, I'm going to be using my Tarte Amazonian Coloured Clay Tinted Brow Gel to set. When going for bold lips, particularly if it's not something that you usually would go for or a colour that you would usually wear, a good tip that I've learned thanks to watching a ton of YouTube videos is actually to apply the lip colour first, so you can see how much colour you need to add to your cheeks and how much colour you need to add to your eyes, or how much definition you need to add to make it all blend together. Some people feel that if you have a bold lip then everything else has to be toned down, but I don't necessarily prescribe to that theory, because I feel like if you have bold lips then you want to make sure that the rest of your face has definition as well, otherwise it can just get lost and look really washed out. So I'm going to start by cleaning off all the excess foundation on my lips. Then I'm going in with the star of the show today. This is the Rouge Edition Velvet from Bourjois in No. 2. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name, it'll be on the screen because it's just way too difficult for me. I've purposely not gone for a lip liner and instead diffusing the edges a little bit with my finger. I just feel like this gives a softer look for the summertime and makes the bold lip less striking. Now that we have our lip colour going on, let's talk blush. Now you could try and match a similar shade of blush, you could try and go clashy if you wanted to do that. When I'm wearing bold lips, sometimes I tend to prefer just a neutral coloured blush. I like to have colour on my cheeks, but if I don't know what colour I want or if I don't have the right colour for me, a neutral blush is awesome. I have a few favourites that I thought I'd quickly mention. I've mentioned this one before, Exposed by Tarte, the Amazonian Clay Blush. Love this one for a neutral colour. I also think that this Laura Mercier blush in Barely Pink does a fantastic job when you're going for a more neutral colour on your cheeks. But today I'm going for what I call the ultimate summer blush. This is the MAC Mineralized blush in Warm Soul. You can see it going on there. It does add a lovely sheen to the cheeks that's just adding to that highlight we applied earlier. It's got a nice mix of peach and pink and brown, so it's still neutral enough that it doesn't clash with the lip colour that we're wearing. I just think it's really, really pretty. I feel like I've been going completely backwards with this tutorial, doing the lips and then the cheeks. Now we're finally doing the eyes last, but let's just roll with it. I'm going to apply some primer first. On the lids I'm going to be using the Josie Maran Coconut Watercolour Eyeshadow. This one is in Playa del Pink. I've wanted to demonstrate this and use this in a tutorial for so long because I absolutely love it. However, after a few uses, my applicator broke, which is really, really sad, and I wanted to take it back to change it, but this has been out of stock for a little while, so I'm going to have to just sort of persevere. If you have something like this happen, I thought that a a lip gloss applicator. One of the disposable ones would work really well, but I don't have any at the moment, so I'm actually going to use a cotton tip. You do have to work kind of one eye at a time, and I find that it's best to try and just apply one even layer all over the mobile lid. Then I'm going to take my base shadow brush from Real Techniques and just blend out the edges, kind of pulling the colour outwards and upwards. This one's quite light, so it will just sort of blend into the skin. I'm going to try and keep my eye shut just so it can set. These have a gorgeous molten metal look to them that almost looks wet, and once they set they will last for quite a while. Because we have such a reflective texture on our eyeshadows, it can tend to make your eyes look a little bit puffy if you don't have something to really ground the look. I'm going to go in with my IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. On the same brush, I'm just going to take a little bit of this shade Warmth. You just want a natural kind of muted shade that looks similar to the colour on your eye. And I'm just going to run this through the crease. This will help just diffuse the edge a little bit, and like I said, give my eyes a little bit of depth. To blend that out, I'm just going to take a little bit of a matte highlight shade just on the very top of that colour underneath the brow bone. And then for a little inner corner highlight, I'm going to take a little bit of Transforming Pearl and just pop that in the centre there. To define my lashes, I'm going to apply a little bit of this Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Corrupt. This is just like a dark brown shade. I'm going to tightline this and then also apply this just slightly to the upper part of my lash line, mainly concentrating it on the outer corner. While that colour is still blendable, I'm just going to take a little angle brush and I'm just going to use this just to slowly kind of blend out the colour, pulling it out into like a very, very soft wing. And as well as back across the lash line. Last but not least, we're going to curl our lashes. Then we're going for mascara. I want a really lashy look, so I'm going to apply two different products. I'm going to apply the IT Cosmetics Tightline Full Lash Length 3-in-1 Eyeliner, Primer and Mascara. And then on top of that, I'm going to apply the IT Cosmetics Halo Lashes 5-in-1 Clinically Proven Mascara. I feel like Tightline does a decent job of applying and giving you some length and some colour on its own, but the mascara just really takes it over the edge. And the two products seem to work quite well together. As a finishing step for the eyes, I'm going to pop a little bit of MAC's Chromographic Pencil in NC15 NW20 onto the lower waterline just to keep my eyes looking really open and awake. So that completes this wearable bold lips for summer makeup look. There's one last step that I wanted to do that's a little bit different for me, and it's definitely 100% optional, but I wanted to try drawing in some freckles. I've seen a few people do this quite recently. Sharon Farrell comes to mind, so does Shan XO, and it looks great on them. Now, I don't naturally have freckles, but I know that it's definitely a trend, and is one way to make your makeup or give it the illusion of being sheerer is if you actually add freckles in after, because by default, if your freckles are showing through, then it probably means that you're wearing less makeup, right? So I'm going to give this a go. It may go terribly wrong. This footage may never go to air because it looks terrible. We will see. But I'm going to take a couple of different products. I have a couple of different lip pencils. So I've got the Essence Lip Liner in Hot Chocolate. I also have the Rimmel Lasting Finish 1000 Kisses Stay On Lip Liner in Cappuccino. And then I have my Soft Brown Anastasia Brow Wiz. And I'm just going to try doing some freckles. Here goes nothing. So these are going to be quite light. This pencil actually seems to be a little bit too warm toned maybe, so I'm going to try this one. Yeah, that's a bit better. I'm just kind of concentrating them on my nose. I'm not really sort of going or applying too much pressure or really thinking about it. I'm just sort of going on with my finger. Getting my concealer brush and just going over the top of some of them. You know what, I actually kind of like this. It's probably not really showing up that much on camera, but in real life you can definitely see them. It is kind of strange to see with me with freckles, but I like it. It's something different. It does really look quite fresh and summery. Maybe give it a go, see if you like it on yourself. Makeup is all about, you know, pushing the boundaries, trying new things. Worst comes to worst, you absolutely hate it, you can apply a bit more foundation over the top. So that completes my summer inspired bold lip look. I hope it encourages some of you guys to rock a bold lip in the warmer weather and maybe even try out some freckles if you don't usually have them, or if you do, wear them with pride. Give it a go, see if you like it. If you have any questions about the look or about any of the products I used, please leave them in the comments below, as well as sharing with me your favorite bold lip colors for the warmer months. If you try out this look, make sure you send me a picture. And other than that, I hope you guys are all having an awesome day. Check out the description box for my links as well as a list of all the products used, and I'll see you all next time. Bye! Okay, I needed to film an intro, but first, let me take a photo for Instagram. Oh, I hate that photo.